Darlings, it's Emma here from Timeless Cookery, and this is episode 22, I think, of Emma and Anna Food as Medicine. We're doing GAPS cakes today, carrot cakes. I had a few manky carrots, I gave them a bit of a peel, and I'm going to whip them up into a little bit of a carrot cake that's GAPS compliant. So GAPS is gut and psychology syndrome. We are making foods that have quite low carbohydrates. So we're using a nut flour today, almond meal. Lots of people use almond meal. Hello people. Oh, hi Scylla. Let's get that out of the way. So almond meal, made of almonds. Usually on GAPS we soak our nuts and seeds always before we use them to remove the anti-nutrients, the phytates and other things that interfere with our digestion. So I've soaked this almond meal in some yogurt. You can also use cream. It has to be 24-hour fermented cream as per the GAPS protocol, because then it's full of probiotics and all the lactose has been eaten up by the bacteria, so you can't be lactose intolerant to something that hasn't got any lactose in it, which is really brilliant. So yeah, the way I did that was basically get my almonds, blessings on these, they're not organic, but I can transmute all poisons because I've got a healthy digestive system. Ideally you want it organic. So I've got some a pack of almond meal, and I'm going to put a couple of spoons of clotted cream in. Oh my goodness me, yum, yum. I can't resist, I just have to lick this now. And any bits that are left over, just use them like a bit of moisturiser, because actually that is the origin of face cream, hand cream, cream. That's why the Dairy Maids always had such beautiful skin, because they always had cream, full flat. Look at that, lovely. I like the smell. It smells slightly a bit yogurty, but I don't care. If you want, you can put a bit of lavender oil with it and then it doesn't smell, but that is going to colonise your skin with good bacteria, which are going to fight any bad bacteria or viruses that might be landing on you. So it's always a good idea to keep your skin colonised with good bacteria, because you're covered from head to foot on every single area of your body, inside and out, with bacteria and viruses and bugs of all descriptions. You're living with them happily in symbiosis. So when it says kills all known germs dead, that's actually killing you if you start to subscribe to that sort of mentality. Germ theory is a theory, and Louis Pasteur on his deathbed recanted and said, I've got it all wrong. We shouldn't be trying to pasteurize everything as in Louis Pasteur, pasteurisation. No, we should be culturing and cultivating the gardens of our microbiome inside and out. So look, I've made a kind of a paste there with 2 big spoons of cream and some almonds, and now I'm going to add 2 eggs. And this isn't the best spoon actually, I'm not really concentrating here. Look at those lovely orange yolks. They are, you know, the more orange a yolk is, I don't know, you can't really see it, but yeah, look, there it is. The more orange a yolk is, the more conjugated linoleic acid it has in it, and the more good fats. Lots of cholesterol. Cholesterol's good for you. And these particular ones, I'm so lucky to have Biodynamic Egg Farmer close by. So they're pastured. They've grown up on the grass. It's when the animals eat the grass that they get all the good fats that are really, really good for you. It's no good having animal fats that come from the industrial model where they've just been cooped up and abused. We try and avoid those like the plague, and I'm really hoping that pretty soon that will be outdated, that way of doing things completely. So where's my wooden spoon? Here it is. Right, let's give this a bit of a beat. I sometimes make a cake in the mixer. I just chuck it all in and let the mixer do it. Now the more we beat this, the more air it gets in it, the fluffier it'll be. It's difficult to get a fluffy cake when you're working with nut flours, but just give that a bit of a, there we go. So, next I'm going to put my carrot in. Could have grated that before you got here really, shouldn't I? But never mind. So I just want to show you that it doesn't have to take very long to make a cake. And this particular recipe, which is Natasha Campbell McBride's from her book Gaps, Gut and Psychology Syndrome, it's basically 4 ingredients. The base is 4 ingredients, which is the eggs, the almond meal, the cream, and the butter. I forgot the butter. So I'm going to probably heat this through a little bit so that it will mix in nicely. So I better get it in a pan quick. I'll just do half. So I'm not that bothered about measurements. Can't be bothered to read the ingredients and measure them out and things. So I just sort of go a pack of this, a half a pack of that, a spoon of this, spoon of that. And you'll see, what I want you to try and do is I'm encouraging you to use your senses and to look at the mix and see what you've got in the cupboard and kind of make it up a little bit, because to be flexible like that I think is really healthy, and not to have to stick too rigidly to things. I think it helps us be more resilient, you know. So I'm just looking for a pan. Where's my little pan? You see, in there I've got coconut oil and dates, because later on I'm going to make, so that was some dates that I boiled up in some water, and then I put some coconut oil in there. Now I'm going to make some granola with that later, but that would be a great thing to make cakes with. I'm going to just whoosh that up into a fatty sweet paste and then use that in your cake mix. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just looking for a little pan. Come on. Oh dear. Not very well organised today, am I? Let's put that butter in the pan. There it is. Okay. So finished grating my carrots, and then that's your 4 ingredients: almond meal, cream or yogurt, half a pack of butter, 2 eggs. That's your base. So then you could jazz that up with anything you like. You could go savoury or sweet. If it was savoury, maybe I would put in some cheddar cheese and bacon bits, or maybe I would put in some feta and rosemary or basil. Maybe I would put in halloumi bits that I've toasted off. Ooh, yummy. Olives, yummy. If it's sweet, maybe I'm gonna add some honey to taste. Maybe I'll put that date paste in to sweeten it. I could put in chocolate and beetroot, grated beetroot. I could put in zucchini and spices. So look, there's about 5 carrots in. That's quite a lot of carrot, but it's going to hold together beautifully. They're good carrots, they are. They're really meaty. Because what I'm trying to do is bulk out this mix, because it's quite expensive ingredients, and I want to kind of bulk it out a bit, you know. Mixing those carrots. You see, the carrots themselves are sweet. Almonds themselves are sweet. Am I going to need any sweetener in this? Well, I'm going to also add cinnamon. Quite a lot of cinnamon. That was maybe a tablespoonful. That's a very useful blood sugar regulator. That's a medicine, that is, cinnamon. It's a blood sugar regulator, and it's really sweet tasting. Oh, hi Gwen. Hi Anna. Hi Tara. So, got some nice cinnamon in there. Let's put a bit of ginger in as well, why don't we? Bit of ginger. That's probably about a tablespoon as well. That'd be nice and spicy. Is my butter melted yet? Nearly. And I'm going to put a little bit of honey in. Just a little bit. Knowing what my kids are like. So what we're aiming for is something sort of like this. We're aiming for little bits of carrot cake like this. They're not like your average cake, you know, made of wheat. They're not massive, big chunks of cake. They're like nutrient dense. They're sort of like a breakfast bar kind of thing almost, but a bit more moist. And they're great for packed lunches, or you're just getting from work and you want a bit of something yummy, you know. And they're very filling, you know. So once you've had one or two, maybe, with a bit of Fat Bomb frosting on, which is very high fat, your body tends to say, wow, that was great, that was enough. Question from someone: where do you find your recipes? Well, I read a lot of them in Dr. Natasha's book, The Gaps, Gut and Psychology Syndrome. She encourages us to just sort of chop it up and chuck it in, make it up as you go along. But what I used to do in the early days, 10 years ago when I first started, was look up paleo recipes or GAPS recipes online. That was 10 years ago I was looking up. So I mean, these days there'll be hundreds of thousands of recipes you'll be able to find online. I mean, a gazillion. So just look up GAPS or paleo. If you want it to be strictly GAPS, look up GAPS, but paleo also does the trick of going grain-free, and that's what we're really aiming for. So that's looking nice. I'm going to put that butter in, half a pack of butter. I'm just going to dribble the rest of that butter on my baking tray so that my cake doesn't stick. Just spread that out a bit. There. Yes, I got it all over my hands. Never mind. There we go. Now this might be a bit wet, this mix now, because of the butter going in. So what I might do is add another flour, another kind of flour, just to kind of stiffen it up a bit, because that is a bit wet. That's a bit ploppy. Yeah, I want it to kind of stick to my spoon a bit more than that. So I've got the choice of chestnut flour made from chestnuts, or I've got some buckwheat. So that's not strictly GAPS buckwheat. It is a pseudo grain. It's a seed. It's not a grain. But you would only really want to be having that if you've already done GAPS for a couple of years and you're reintroducing grains. So buckwheats. Cassava is a root. Yam, cassava. That's what semolina comes from. So that's a root. That's also, it's quite high starch. Maybe you could, coconut flour might be a good one. But I really rate the chestnut flour. It's absolutely delicious. Oh, good job I got my apron on. Okay, that's a bit more like it. But it's still a bit wet. Still a bit wet. I might put a bit more in. That's what I mean, you know, you look at it. Is it too wet? You put something dry in. Is it too dry? Put something wet in. You know, it's not difficult. Coconut flour is ever so absorbent, and you only need a really tiny bit to get your mix to really come together. Okay. Oh yeah, nice. So what do we do to try and get a rise on your baked goods that are made with nut flours? They're a bit dense, they're a bit heavy. What I like to do is just at the end, did you ever do that experiment at school where you made like a volcano and you put bicarbonate of soda in it and then put vinegar in it, or put vinegar in it and then bicarbonate of soda with red food dye, and then the volcano erupted because the acid and the bicarbonate of soda create bubbles? So let's have a little bit of acid in there, a little bit of lemon juice. Mix that in well. And then I'm just going to put in some raisins as well. Yeah, a couple of handfuls of raisins. That's going to be super sweet, you know. I'm not going to need any more sweetener than that. 1 spoon of honey. And then just before I put this in the baking tin, oops. Yeah, yummy. Yummy. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of baking soda, yeah? Probably about a teaspoonful ish. Yeah, about a teaspoonful. Spread it in. Now I'm going to whip that up quick, really, really quick, because bubbles are going to start happening. I can hear the bubbles already. And then I'm just going to put it on my baking tray. Or, if you want to, you could make muffins. And then you could put the muffins in the kids' lunch boxes or whatever. There we go. We can hear the bubbles in it. Okay. That'll do. So then I'm going to chuck that in the oven at about 180 for not very long. 20 minutes max, probably. I just look at it after about 15 minutes and it should have just browned off on the top. And because it's quite thin, it doesn't take much cooking, yeah? So, there. I will post a picture of what it looks like when it comes out of the oven, and then you'll know what to look out for. But what we're aiming for, like I say, is something a bit like that. You know, when it comes out of the oven, you just score the tin. You'll get 24 little bits of cake like that from the... So there you go, Gaps cake. I'm going to put that in the oven. And lots of love to you all. Oh, hello, what's that? Is it okay carb or baking powder? Oh, bicarb. Bicarb or baking powder. Yeah, baking powder might have some other fillers in it that are not GAPS compliant. So ideally, if you want to go GAPS, full GAPS, it's just bicarbonate of soda. Just bicarb. Super quick. It's super quick, isn't it? How long did that take? If I hadn't been whittering on and chatting a load of nonsense, that would have taken me probably about 7 minutes. Really, probably. So it's not difficult. And then you've got, you know, I mean, this usually fills a couple of Tupperwares, and you have a couple of Tupperwares in the fridge or in the cupboard. And then when you want a sweet treat, you know, I'll put a bit of, fat bomb frosting on that. Ooh. Oh my goodness me, with a nice cup of tea. Delicious. Okay, everybody, love you so. You can find me at timelesscookery.com. I run courses on how to, I give you the information and the motivation you need for transformation, healing and sealing the gut, and tackling all sorts of inflammatory diseases and autoimmune issues. So if you want to see me, go to timelesscookery.com. We'll be setting the dates for another course starting very soon. We're already just doing our 3-month GAPS group program, which is going really well, and I'm loving you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.